to President Clinton. Sanders calling for a political revolution that sounds a lot like what got Greece into trouble in the first place. Lanny, what do you make of it?
Well, I would love to answer the Whole Foods interview you just had because I know a lot about that, but let's talk about Bernie Sanders. Have me back about Whole Foods. Okay. But your reporter got it all wrong, by the way. Look, Bernie Sanders is a very interesting man that I respect greatly. He calls himself a socialist Democrat from Vermont. That in and of itself is interesting, and I respect him. And the crowds are extremely moved by his rhetoric, as I am, because he's hitting on the populist message and the wealth disparity message that Hillary Clinton is mentioning as well.
Is she going further left, though, because of that, because it is resonating?
She hasn't changed a single position in her entire career. She's been a progressive Democrat, so I don't know what you mean by going left. Name me the issue that she went left on.
I have heard her make. I have heard.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman. I have had occasion in my life to defend marriage, to stand up for marriage, to believe in the hard work and challenge of marriage. So I take umbrage at anyone who might suggest that those of us who worry about amending the Constitution are less committed to the sanctity of marriage or to the fundamental bedrock principle that it exists between a man and a woman going back into the mists of history as one of the foundational institutions of history and humanity and civilization, and that its primary principal role during those millennia has been the raising and socializing of children for the society into which they are to become adults.
LGBT Americans are our colleagues, our teachers, our soldiers, our friends, our loved ones. And they are full and equal citizens and deserve the rights of citizenship. That includes marriage. That's why I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples. I support it personally and as a matter of policy and law.
So what's it like when you're in office and you have to do all these political calculations to not be able to support something like gay marriage that you actually believe in? And you obviously feel very committed to human rights, and you obviously put gay rights as part of human rights, but in doing the calculus you decided you couldn't support it. Correct me if I'm reading it wrong.
Well, I think you're reading it very wrong. I think that, as I said, just as the president has said, just because you're a politician doesn't mean you're not a thinking human being. And you gather information, you think through positions. You're not 100% set. Thank goodness. You're constantly reevaluating where you stand. That was true for me. We talked earlier about Iraq, for goodness sakes. So for me, marriage had always been a matter left to the states. And in many of the conversations that I and my colleagues and supporters had, I fully endorsed the efforts by activists to work state by state. And in fact, that is what is working. And